look, one of my favorite chapters in Hayek is the creative powers of a free civilization. And part of the whole thing in that chapter is emphasizing the idea that we want freedom, not because we know what it will give us, but precisely because we don't know what we're going to get from it. And that might be just miraculous what we're going to get from it. And I think this idea of what you were talking about with uncertainty earlier, the Austrian School of Economics from Menger onwards has always been about the idea that economic activity takes place in time, that economic activity is driven by the subjective expectations and valuations of individuals, and that we come up with various institutions for us to cope with our radical uncertainty. It's not to deny that there is radical uncertainty. It's that we have various different mechanisms for which we cope and deal with our ignorance and our uncertainty. And it's in that we see so many creative activities. So I always think that the way we should think about economics is that we have to give priority in our economic explanations to the clever and creative actors inside of our theories. And I think this is one of the key things in Hayek's scientific method, which is to say, not that, so his knowledge assumption is that the theorist can never know what the creative and clever actors in the economy actually know. So we can understand the principle, but we can't know the particulars that are going to be acted upon. That has to require those individuals with their contextual knowledge, and so when I'm trying to struggle and think about the political economy of these ideas, I want to give priority to those clever and creative individuals to be able to find solutions that no one from afar could ever, envision in their own head. And so when we go back to the application period, like what you're talking about in a tense situation like we've had here, what we need to do is we need to unleash the creative powers of all these individuals throughout the economy to figure out ways in which they can mitigate and live and find their own trade-off between safety and freedom and power them to do it, rather than the idea that someone, standing behind a microphone at a congressional hearing can say, be a school marm and say, no, you can't do this or whatever. And we got to get beyond that.
It's like a humble utopianism.
Yes, that's because you're giving the power back to all the people.
Yeah.
So it's actually like a weirdly hippie thing too, right? Because it's like
it always comes back to the Grateful Dead.
yeah, give power to the people.
Right.
Entrust the people. That's where all of this creative energy lies. It doesn't lie in these magnificent buildings that line this city, or the people who have all the fancy degrees behind their names that occupy these places. Yes, they're smart people, I get it, but the ordinary individual has greater scope for understanding the way the world works,